Hello everyone. Imagine it's your first day as an Entra ID administrator in the office. An HR asks you onboard a new employee, assign the correct Microsoft licenses, provide access to Teams, SharePoint, and ensure that user can securely sign in. From where do you start? In this session, we will learn how to create, configure, and manage a user in Microsoft Entra ID, the foundation of identity management and a key SC-300 exam topic. My name is Devinder Bhardwaj, and we are going to cover create users in Entra ID, configure user properties, assign licenses, groups, and roles, manage complete user lifecycle, differentiate members and guest users, perform common user management tasks like changing properties, and apply Microsoft best practices. As usual, I'm going to be share my screen with a PowerPoint and demonstrate you the steps to perform all the tasks. So let's jump to the PowerPoint and discuss about the manage identities, access, and lifecycle for users in your organization. The first point is create users. Every user who need access to Microsoft 365 or Azure resource must have a digital identity in Microsoft Entra ID. There are three common ways to create user. Individual user, we can create bulk users with the help of importing a CSV file, or we can invite B2B users to access our environment. For example, an employee is joining us, we can create a single user, or 300 new employees are joining us. In this case, we will choose bulk import, or we want to invite a person from outside to our organization as a guest user. How to create users? To show you, let me jump Microsoft Entra portal. Here we are on Microsoft Entra portal. From the left pane, click on users and new user. When I click on new user, it gives me option create new user, invite external user. This time we are creating a new user. User principal name, user1, display name, user1, password. I don't want to be use auto generate password. I want to give my own password. Uncheck it. I have given password. Now, when you are creating, you can make it enable right now, or you can just uncheck it. User account is created, but not enable. We are going to enable it, review and create. So I create this user, user1. From here, we can search user1. After creating a user, you maybe need to configure the properties of the user. For example, you want to configure his or her department name, job title, manager, office, phone number, usage locations, preferred language, and lots of other properties. All these properties are going to be help you in the governance or generating reports in the future. So these informations is really good to have. How to add all these properties? Let's have a look. We have created a user1. I click on the user1 and I click on edit properties. When I click on all, I can see display name, full name, last name, user principal name, user type. He's a member or someone can be guest also, but it's member. Job title. So in the job title, I said that, okay, accounts manager, company name, department name, employee ID, employee type, maybe the contractor or permanent employee, full time, hiring date. I'm choosing today's date only, location. So all this information will help you when you have millions of the users and you want to be define few policies, or you want to be configure something for users whose department is accounts or belongs to the London location, who are full-time employee, is department name. So it is good if you are going to be configure all these things. If I click on identity, these are only the few options we do have. Job information. So like this, and all I was able to be put all the information in one window only, while here we do have categories, job related information I have given. I can add someone as a manager of this guy also. So from here, when I will click, if I do have multiple users, I can choose, like for example, I choose Alex Wilbur as a manager of this guy. Contact information, street number, address, zip postal code, all these things. Parental records, settings, on premises. So all this information we can configure as a property of a individual user. Creating a user does not automatically grant access. Access is controlled through the licenses, groups, directory roles, and enterprise applications. But as an Microsoft Entra administrator, we must follow least privileges principle. So how to assign a license to a user? Let's see from the console. To assign a license to any user, you need to go to Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Under the billing, you will find licenses. We have 20 licenses only, and all these licenses are used. So what I'm doing, I'm going to be unassign a license of a user and assign it to user one. I chose this only, advance. So see have license. I just uncheck these licenses, save changes, close this. And again, I went under the billing licenses. Now I can see that I do have one license and I want to assign this license to my user, user one. So click on the users, active users. Here I need to find my user, user one, license and apps. I am able to assign license now to this user. I'm going to assign license for Enterprise Mobility and Security E5, Microsoft Teams Enterprise Office 365 E5, and other licenses are also there. You can assign a license for application also. So by default, when I choose three options from the top, it have chosen few of the options and the applications also. Save changes, close. Let's jump to the Entra portal. I'm going to open my user one here and check its license. Now we are able to see that this user have license. Here also it written clearly adding, removing and reprocessing license assignment is only available within M365 Admin Center. That is the reason I jump here to assign the license to user one. Now after assigning the license to this user, what I want, I need to be add user one to some groups so that like user one have joined as an accounts manager. So you may have some groups which used to assign permissions for that the users who belongs to accounts department. I can add this user in the groups. Choose user one and on the left pane here, you can see groups. Since we have created this user just now, he is not member of any group. I can add this guy as a member of group. Here is the list of the groups currently we have available in our organization. So what I want that this guy is accounts manager. So he should be member of SG Legal, SG Retail, Leadership, and one of the all company. So I have added this guy in the groups. With the help of the group membership, he or she will be able to be access resources. But what I want to be assigned a role also to this user. With the help of the group membership, user one will be able to access resources in my organization. Now, what I want, not only the resource permissions, I want since user one is an account manager, he or she should create user accounts. So for that one, I need to assign a role. To assign a role, we need to jump to admin Microsoft 365 portal, click on active users, and from here, choose your user. Once you click on the user, scroll it down, and here you can see roles option. No administrative access right now. User one is having. What I want that user one should able to create some users. So I can assign a role to user one. Currently, no admin center access. I just click on that one. Now admin center access is there. When we create a user, by default, there is no admin center access. If you want a user perform a role in your organization, then admin center access is required. And after that, we can choose what type of the role we want to assign that user. In our case, I want that user one should able to create users. So I chose user administrator. When you are going to be assigned a role, we do have option that we can choose from here, or we can segregate all these roles by category wise. So when you click on this, you will able to see collaboration category, device category, others. Because we have chosen user administrator, so here under the identity you can see this is already there. Click on save and change, admin role updated. So now you can see that user one have a role user administrator. Let's jump to the PowerPoint slide to discuss about next topic. User type in Entra ID. We have seen that we can create a user and Entra ID, normal user who is employee of our organization. Sometimes we need to be invite a user from outside to access our resources. That type of the users are called as guest users. So we have created member user who is our internal employee and full organizational access based on permissions. Next is guest user. Guest user an external partner or a vendor. He or she must have limited access and use for business to business collaboration. Or we can create B2B direct connect, cross organization collaboration without creating a traditional guest account. How to create a guest user? Let's see. I have created a user one and user one is the member user. Now again, I'm going to create a user, but this time I'm not choosing first option, create a new user. I'm choosing the second option, invite external user. Here it's not asking about the user ID, but asking for email ID. So here I have given my mail ID, which is not the ID of this organization. It's my Gmail ID. Display name, a message if you want to give, full name, last name, and here you can see that this user is type is guest, not member. It's guest. His job title or something, whatever, all the properties you can define properties and city and all these details if you want. If you want, you can add an external user or a guest user in a group also, or you can assign a role also to. Like we have assigned a role to user one, user administrator. Right now, I'm not doing anything. Now, if we will see here under the users, so you can see Devinder Bhardwaj is here, but the type is guest. Now we want to configure something about it, about the user. So here under the edit properties, we can modify like we did some modifications for user one, the display name, principal name. Even a user is guest user in your organization. In Entra ID, there will be a UPN name for that user. So let's copy it and see what UPN name it has assigned to this user. Bhardwaj.devindarwan@gmail.com extension, this my current domain. So yes, it's create an identity in the Entra ID for every external user also. Job information, contact information, all this information we can define for the guest users too. If you want to assign some permissions to this user, so let's go to the users again. And in the users, choose your user Devinder. Okay, so I can add this user in groups. So he is part of the retail, for example. Yes, he has been added to the retail. Certain applications, I want to give some permissions on certain applications. After adding the groups, let's see if we can assign a role to Devinder Bhardwaj, who is the guest user. So add an assignment, search a role from here. What I want that this guy should be AI administrator. Okay, next. And from here we can choose, it's interesting window. From here we can choose that his eligibility is permanent or for certain period only he's going to be. Because an Intra ID under the governance part, what we want that, okay, we have to mitigate the manual works. So from here only we can define that his eligibility is to work as this role permanent, or I can define a certain period that for this period only this guy is going to play this role. Interesting. One fine day, Devinder update you that okay, his location has been changed. Now he's not in London. He have moved to or Dubai or any location. So what you can do, you can change the user's properties from here. Go to Devinder again and edit property from contact information. You change the city name from one to another, whatever. For example, I'm giving it now Dubai. So that's done. So like this, we can configure our member user or guest users properties. Or if for one fine day you want to be delete this user now, it's not required, no more required in our organization, then we can delete it from here. Just click on the delete and it's deleted, successfully deleted. It happens sometime in the production environment that here we intentionally delete this user, but sometime unintentionally also this type of activities can happen. And as you know, in Entra ID for every user there is one ID is generated, and that is always unique. So for that in that case, if you have deleted the user, you can restore that user. How to restore that user? You need to go to the Microsoft 365 admin portal, and here you have a folder under the users only, deleted users. You are able to see Devinder Bhardwaj, and we can restore this user from here. A restore user. The user will be restored. Sometimes administrators need to find out users quickly. There is option available, add filter, and from here we can filter the users whatever we want. So I just click on the add filter, and the city I know that I have written Dubai, and we can see that Devendra Bhardwaj we have given the. So if you are looking for filter the list, suppose you have millions of the users and you want to be know that how many users we do have on this location, how many users we do have on that location, like this, or you can choose any attribute from here, not only the city. Accounts enabled, that you have millions of users, you want to be find out that how many users accounts are disabled, you can choose this one. Company name, business phones, agent ID. You receive a phone call from someone and you don't know that who is this guy is. So you can filter that user with the help of the business phone numbers, creation type, first name, last name, lots of filters options available. We can filter the users from here. Now after that, we again going to be jump to the PowerPoint slide. So we have discussed the create a user account, and then we configure the user properties. We have managed the user access. We have checked the user types, our member users and the guest users, and now manage user life cycle. When we are talking about life cycle, a person is going to join our organization, and then we are going to be create his user ID and password and everything, and going to set the properties. Then we are going to manage his access, from which department he or she belongs to, what type of the resource they are going to be accessed. It comes under the manage access. There are possibilities that the person is changing the department or getting some new responsibilities. So we need to update also time to time. And whenever the user is leaving the organization, after that, we need to delete or disable that user. There's a difference between delete and disable. Delete means permanently delete. If next time we create a user ID again with the same name, and a unique ID is assigned to that user. While in case of the disable, user is not able to be access resources. But next time when he or she will be join us, we can just enable it, and the same ID will we can be used. So like we have seen that we can manage our users from GUI, as well as we can manage the users from the PowerShell or from Microsoft Graph also. Here are the few of the examples of the commands to create a new ID, or to assign a license, or add a user in a group, or disable a user. From exam point of view, you must understand how to create user, configure properties, assign license, manage access, and manage full user lifecycle in Microsoft Entra ID. Thank you for watching.